Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Ramika's Diary. Today we're going to be seeing some grammar in CBSE Class 7, Chapter 7, Adjective. So let's get into the video. Formation of comparatives and superlatives. Most adjectives form their comparative degree by adding ER. So like most adjectives, when they form comparative degree, they add ER at the end, and their superlative degree by adding est to the positive. So let's say there is a positive and we are going to change that to comparative form. For that, we should add er at the end. And if we want to change the positive to superlative degree, we change it by adding est at the end. For example, positive, bright. In comparative, we say brighter. So we write the exact same word here by adding er at the end for comparative. If we want to write that in superlative, we take the exact same word and add est at the end. Next, near. If we want to change that to comparative degree, we put the exact same word and add er at the end. And if we want to write the superlative degree for that word, then we write the exact same word, near, and add est at the end. Next, soft. We write soft and add er at the end. For superlative, we write soft and add est at the end. Next, soon. For comparative, we write soon and add er at the end. And for superlative, we write soon and add est at the end. So bright, brighter, brightest, near, nearer, nearest, soft, softer, softest, soon, sooner, soonest. If the positive ends in e, we add only r and st to form comparative and superlative degrees. So if the positive ends in e, we only add r at last for comparative degree, and if the positive ends in e, then we add st for changing it into superlative degree. For example, brave. Here, the word brave ends with e, so I write brave and just add r at the end for comparative degree, and for superlative degree, I put brave and add st at the end. Next, wise. The word wise have e at the end, so I just write wise and add r for comparative degree, and for superlative degree, I write wise and I put st at the end. Next word, pure. The word pure have e at the end, so I write pure and add r at the end for comparative degree, and for the superlative degree, I put pure and add st at the end. So brave, braver, bravest, wise, wiser, wisest, pure, purer, purest. Next, if the positive ends in y and immediately has a consonant before it, the y is changed into I before adding er, est. So let's say there's a word and it ends with y. So that word is positive and it ends with y. And before y in that word, immediately there's a consonant before it. Then we change the y into I before adding er for comparative degree and est for superlative degree. But if the y has a vowel before it, it is not changed into I. So let's say there's a positive and here also it ends with y, but immediately before y there's a vowel before it, then we don't change y into I in here. Let's see some examples. First, let's see example for the words that end with Y but having a consonant before it. So positive. The word is heavy. So in this word, it ends with Y, and immediately before Y, there's a V, which is a consonant. Here, we change the Y into I and then add ER for comparative degree. And in superlative degree, we change the Y into I and add EST at the end. Next, easy. The word easy ends with Y, and before Y, there's S before it, which is a consonant. So we change the Y into I and add ER for comparative degree and EST for superlative degree. So heavy, heavier, heaviest, easy, easier, easiest. But now we're going to see examples for the positive that ends with Y but has a vowel immediately before it. So positive, gray. So in comparative, we say grayer. So we don't change the Y into I, we just write the exact same spelling and add ER at the end for comparative degree. And for the superlative degree, we write the exact same word and add EST at the end. Next, gray with the another spelling. So we write the exact same word here and add ER at the end for comparative degree. And we write the exact same word here and add EST for superlative degree. So in both these words, there's a Y at the end, and before Y, there's a vowel, which is E and A. So gray, grayer, grayest, gray, grayer, grayest. Next, single syllabic adjectives ending in a consonant preceded by a short vowel add ER, EST after doubling the last consonant. So examples, all these adjectives, big, fit, and thin, they're all single syllabic adjectives and they end with consonants like G, T, and N are consonants. So if there's these words that's single syllabic adjectives ending with consonant at the end, then we should add ER after doubling the last consonant. So for example, big. So in the word big, G is the last consonant. So we're doubling the last consonant. So BIGG, and then we're adding ER at the end for comparative degree. For superlative degree, we write the word big by doubling the last consonant. So like BIGG, and then we add EST at the end. Next, fit. The word fit ends with T, which is a consonant. So we're doubling the last consonant. So FITT, and then we add ER at the end for comparative degree, and then we add EST for superlative degree by doubling the last consonant in here. Next, thin. So the word thin ends with N, which is a consonant. So we're doubling the last consonant. So THINN, and then we're adding ER for comparative degree, and we're doing the same thing, but instead of adding ER at the end, we're adding EST for superlative degree. Next, many adjectives of 2 syllables or more than 2 syllables form their comparatives by adding more and their superlatives by adding most. So like many adjectives with 2 syllables or more than 2 syllables, they form their comparatives by adding more at the beginning, and they form their superlatives by adding most at the beginning. So for example, active. In comparative, we write more active. So we just add more at the starting and then write active. So more active. And then in superlative, we write most at the beginning. So most active. For beautiful, we write more beautiful, most beautiful. Careful. For careful, we write more careful, most careful. So active, more active, most active. So for beautiful, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. And for careful, careful, more careful, most careful. Next, irregular comparisons. So positive, bad. Bad. In comparative, we write it worse. In superlative, we write worst. For good, in comparative, we write better. In superlative, we write best. Up. In comparative, we write upper. And in superlative, we write uppermost. Next, little. For comparative, we write less or lesser. We could use both. And for superlative, we write least. These are called irregular comparisons because these are adjectives that does not follow the rules of changing the positive to comparative or superlative degree. They do not follow the proper rules there. So like for example, here we had active, so we put more at the beginning. For superlative, we put most at the beginning. So like that's one of the rules. But here, bad, worse, worst. The other rule that we saw before was adding ER for comparative and adding EST for superlative, but none of those rules are followed here, like bad, worse, worst. Plus, in those rules, we took the word here, we put it exactly here, the exact same word, by adding ER at the end or EST at the end. So that was one of the rules. But here, bad, worse. So like the word is totally changed. So this is irregular comparison. Next, good, better, best. So also here the word is totally changed into a different word. So this is also irregular comparison. Next, up, upper, uppermost. In the superlative form, it says uppermost. So you might think that we put most like in the before rule, but we put most at the beginning, not at the end. So this is also irregular comparison. Next, little, less or lesser, least. So also here the word is totally changed to a different word, so that's why this is also called irregular comparison. Worksheet 2, Exercise 1. Fill in the blanks with the correct comparative or superlative form of the adjective. First one, this is the dash day of the year, hot. So we should use the word hot to change it into comparative or superlative according to the sentence. So this is the dash day of the year. So we should put hottest because we're comparing it with like an entire year. So hottest is the answer. So here I put hottest because remember one of our rule that we saw before. So if the adjective is like single syllabic adjective and ends with a consonant, then we double the last consonant. So here T is the last consonant, so I doubled it. So like HOTT, and then we add ESD if it's a superlative degree. So that's why I put hottest here. Next, my car is dash than yours, expensive. So here we should put more expensive because remember in this rule we saw that if the adjectives have 2 syllables or more than 2 syllables, then for comparative degree we put more at the beginning and put the exact same word. So here they're comparing 2 cars, like my car and your car. So that's why we're gonna write expensive in the comparative form. So more expensive. Next, this cake is dash than any other cake I have tried. Delicious. So, as the rule that we saw above, the adjective delicious has more than 2 syllables. So I'm adding most at the beginning. So like most delicious, since I'm comparing like a lot of cakes I have tried before with this cake. So most delicious, since it's a superlative degree. Exercise 2. Identify the degree of comparison, positive, comparative, and superlative of the adjectives in the following sentences. So first one, this is a big house. So in this exercise, we should identify the degree of comparison like positive, superlative, and comparative of the adjectives in the following sentences. So here in this sentence, this is a big house. Big is the adjective in this sentence. So this is a positive degree. Next, my dog is faster than yours. So in this sentence, faster is the adjective. So here in this adjective faster, it ends with er, and remember we use er for comparative degree, so it's comparative degree. Next, she is the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. So in this sentence, most beautiful is the adjective. So remember, we use most at the beginning of an adjective when it's superlative degree. So it's superlative. Next, this is a difficult question. So in this sentence, difficult is the adjective. So this is positive degree. Fifth one, he is a very intelligent student. So here, intelligent is the adjective. So intelligent is positive degree. So friends, try this at home with me for extra practice. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.